There is the opinion, and there's some merit to it. God created the world because God is kind and wants to do kindness. So he created the world to do kindness for us. There's some justification for that thought, but not enough. If this is God's kindness, I would hate to see his bad mood. Giving us a life full of trials and tribulations and difficulties. Maybe there's some kindness there, but it's not the most obvious kindness in the world. So to say God created the world just to be kind, then life would be much easier. Life would be much simpler if it was all about being kind. There seems to be a challenge to life that suggests that maybe there's something else going on besides kindness. If we look at it correctly, kindness itself is a creation. Before God created the world, was there kindness? What was the point of kindness? What was the expression of kindness? So if you think about it, God actually invented or created kindness so that his creation can live up to his expectations. So kindness was created for us. We were not created for kindness. Does that make any sense? It's not like God needs to be kind, so he creates us. God wants to love somebody, so he creates us. We are not the byproduct of love or kindness. It's the opposite. God wants us. And for that, he creates kindness. He creates love so that he can have us. So love was created to serve us. We were not created to serve love. And that should also be true in our marriages. We don't get married for love. We get married for marriage, and love helps. So love exists in the service of marriage, not the other way around. It's not like if we love each other a lot, then getting married will help preserve that love. Marriage is not there to support love. Love exists to support marriage. God didn't create us out of love. He created love for us. That's really very, very romantic. That's like saying, I want to be married to you, and if being married to you means I have to love you, I'll invent some love. If being married to you means I have to be kind, I'll become kind. I'll create whatever is necessary in order to have you. But it's not that you are the consequence of my love. That's not nice. That's selfish. Truth is the opposite. And I think there ought to be some kind of an expression, a bumper sticker or something that says, if I need to love you in order to have you, I'll do that too. Whatever it takes. And that's really one of the benefits of marriage. In order to be married, you do need to be kind. In order to be married, you have to be patient. In order to be married, you have to be loyal. In order to be married, you have to love and have some discipline. You see, all of these things exist so that the marriage will work, not the other way around. It's not like, if you're disciplined, if you're kind, if you're patient, if you're tolerant, if you can love, then okay, get married. No, the other way around. Getting married is the way to be. And it is so important that if love will help, fine, create some love. Invent love. So that's like saying, if you marry me, I'll get whatever it takes to make this work. I'll even love you. I mean, if that's what it takes. The thought that God created us not out of love, but created love for us, meaning in order for us to have the kind of relationship that he wants, he even invented love. So for those of us who need to be loved, he'll love us too. But that's not the goal. The goal is to become one. And that's why Judaism's slogan is, God is one. Not that there's one God. I mean, you don't have to repeat that every day. It's not like every day I wonder, maybe there's another God since yesterday. You don't have to keep repeating there's only one God. When we say God is one, we mean, what is God all about? He's all about oneness. He wants to be one with us. He wants to be one with his creation. And in order to facilitate that, he created kindness and justice and whatever it is, whatever it takes. All the fine qualities and virtues are not the end goal. They are the tools. The end goal is to become one. And that's why he gives us his commandments. He tells us about himself. God's commandments are basically an autobiography. God says, these things please me, those things don't please me, this I like, that I don't like. He's basically describing himself. So those commandments are God revealing himself, bearing his soul, so to speak, so that we know how to become one with him. So every time we fulfill a commandment, we are joining him. We're becoming one with him. And that's why a commandment should be observed with joy. You're becoming one with God. It should be like a wedding. So every time we do a commandment, every time we fulfill a commandment, it's like a celebration. We're becoming one with God. So if there are 613 commandments, there are 613 commandments to the Jewish people. Is that too many? Is it too hard to keep 613 commandments? Well, it is hard, but it's so joyous. And if God wants to add a few more, that's fine too. Because every commandment is an opportunity to be one with him. So the bigger the selection, the more opportunity. And the fact that we sometimes fail, well, that's what marriage is. Marriage means, striking out as often as you hit a home run. And that's good. So that's basically the traditional and biblical view of life. Basically describes just about everything. Now, do you have any questions?
You were talking about if you don't follow the commandments, you call that sin?
Oh, yeah.
And what is your atonement for sin?
Try better, try harder next time. In a relationship, what is the atonement? If you hurt your spouse's feelings, what do? You become nicer. You try harder. You do twice as much. That's your atonement. To punish, what's the point of that? So we're told that in a marriage, you never punish. Because that doesn't help. That doesn't endear anybody. The consequence of sin is, now you're going to have to try harder, which is good, productive. So certainly God's patience and God's tolerance and God's understanding and his awareness of our weaknesses and shortcomings was all taken into account right from the start. And it actually makes us more precious to God, the fact that we are fallible and we can make mistakes, and yet we try. And after we make a mistake, we try harder. That's part of the beauty. So sin is not the end. It's not the end of the relationship. It's simply a stimulus for more good things.
partner with Rabbi Friedman. Visit itsgoodtoknow.org/support.